Hi everybody! So, work experience, work shadowing, internships, volunteering. I think people can get a bit confused about which is which and what is what and how you go about and what the different things are. So, very briefly, work experience is traditionally a period of time where you work for free for an employer to, if you watch the work experience why I do it video, build your skills, reality check your ideas and make connections with people in the world of work. So often schools will give you maybe a week of work experience where you can go off and spend some time with an employer, or you can organise it yourself. But usually it's a sort of a time limited, it might be within a week or a day even, and you're not going to get paid for it. Sometimes it might go on longer, but generally not being paid and it being a kind of a short-term option is what work experience is. Volunteering is also not paid, and in some ways work experience is voluntary work, and in some ways volunteering is work experience, so it can be a bit confusing. But volunteering is generally done for organisations that need volunteers, so it might be more kind of in a charity sector or healthcare or education, an area where there might be limited funds and they rely on volunteers helping out. You might do it over a long period of time, so it might be you do an evening a week for a whole year, for example, or you might do it as a short project, so you might go away and volunteer abroad, for example, for a month or two. Internships are different in that they should be paid. Sometimes they're not, but ideally you want to find one where you are paid. So again, you're learning, you're building your skills, so it's work experience, but it's usually for a specific period of time, usually longer than a week. It might be kind of a month or a couple of months in the summer, for example, and it's a more formal setup. So there's usually things that you're working towards. You might have a supervisor who's giving you particular projects to work on. So it's a bit more organised and ideally might lead into full-time employment. So you usually find internships are offered to people who are maybe 18 and over, rather than work experience, which is more like dipping your toe in. The other word you might have heard is work shadowing, which is basically work experience. It's following other people around and seeing what they do and learning from them. So you might sometimes hear that. And I often say to people that are thinking about work experience, why don't you ask if you can shadow someone for a day or half a day? Because sometimes employers go, oh, you know, a week of work experience, what are we going to do with that young person? But if you say, could it just be, you know, having a cup of tea with you for a half an hour at lunch and maybe just coming and sitting in the office or that workplace, wherever it might be, that's a lot less of an ask for an employer to take on. So that's a little tip to get your foot in the door, ask for less and then hopefully they'll give you more, rather than asking for lots and they just all go, oh, too much. So hopefully that's giving you a bit of an insight into all of those different things which are going to help you massively figure out what you want to do when you get older. Take care guys, bye.